Welcome back to Startup Hack. All right, now you've all been heard the hype about AI, right? It's going to take over the world, steal your job, and turn us into couch potatoes. But hold on for a minute, because today we're going beyond the hype, beyond the headlines, and diving into the real story of AI, specifically those large language models everyone's freaking out about. We're going to uncover the hidden truth, the surprising facts, the stuff nobody wants to talk about. So let's get ready to dive in today, because we're going to talk a lot about AI and what we learned about AI in 2024. Welcome back to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps, as well as to build custom software solutions for companies. All right, so we're going to dive in today and talk about some of the hidden truths about AI that we learned in 2024. All right, so very first, LLMs are impressive, but they aren't going to replace us anytime soon. Let's dive headfirst into the matrix of AI and LLMs. The first truth bomb is LLMs are not going to replace us in 2025. Sure, they can write some poems, generate some little code snippets, not whole systems, and even hold a decent conversation. But let's be real, they're still a long ways from taking over the world. As OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman said, quote, "The hype in AI ecosystem is way ahead of the reality," end quote. And that's from Sam Altman, who's trying to definitely sell a lot of that hype. They lack the creativity, critical thinking, and good old-fashioned common sense that humans can possess. It's like giving a monkey a typewriter. They might bang out a few words, but they're not going to write the next Shakespearean masterpiece. Now, LLMs are fantastic tools, but they're not going to innovate for you. They're not going to create for you. They're not going to come up with the new next breaking thing. They're more like a superpower blender. They can mix and match ingredients, data, in amazing ways, but they can't come up with a new recipe on their own. They're definitely really good at pattern matching, data analysis, and a lot of these kind of things that it can do at a very high level in a fast way. I do think they're great for using legal, for helping to write documents, and a lot of other things, but they're not going to innovate for you. Google's head of AI, Jeff Dean, explained, quote, "Today's large language models are very good at combining concepts in a novel way, but they aren't originating fundamentally new ideas," end quote. So they're masters of regurgitation, not innovation. So if you're expecting them to come up with the next groundbreaking innovation or app, you might be waiting for a while. Now, the cost of LLMs are going down, but they're also going up at the same time, right? The cost of running an LLM is plummeting faster than meteor shower. As we do more research, we're getting more of these compressed LLMs that can run on small things like I've demonstrated running on Raspberry Pi. So if you haven't checked out some of my previous videos, make sure you like and subscribe and go check out some of those previous videos, because I've got some cool hacking stuff that I've showed with AI. But there's a lot of powerful models that they're learning to compress into smaller LMs, so SLMs, right? We have our large language models and our small language models. So some of these small language models are getting more and more impressive now. And so Anthropic's CEO says the compute costs to train large models have been dropping by a factor of 10 every 18 months. This means smaller models, startups, and even individuals can harness the power of AI to solve problems, automate tasks, and create amazing things. So it's like the price of a smartphone. What was once a luxury now is within the reach of everyone. And that's what's happening with some of these smaller models. But the bigger models keep getting bigger. Mark Zuckerberg said it cost over $100 million to train the 405 billion input of Llama 3. So we can see that we're definitely seeing that bridge, right? We have the smaller ones that are getting smaller and smaller and tighter. And so what a big model couldn't do 10 years ago, a small model that can be compressed into a very small space now can. And that's the advantage. Now, speaking of accessibility, if your company systems are stuck in the stone ages of technology, we can help you here at Startup Hack. Our experts are modernizing legacy systems and integrating cutting-edge technologies. We help you catapult your business into the future with a lot of different great software solutions. So make sure you check out startuphack.com/Spencer, because we can definitely help you out. Now, let's focus on some more of these truths, right? LLMs are becoming increasingly multimodal. What this means is they're not just limited to text anymore. They can now process images, audio, and even video, opening up a whole new world of possibilities. AI researcher Andrew Karpathy noted, the most exciting development in AI right now is the emergence of multi-models that can understand, and generate content across different modalities: text, images, audio, video, and more. So imagine an AI that can not only write a script for a movie, but also generate the visuals and the soundtrack. The future of content creation is about to get wild. It's like giving an artist a whole new set of tools. So the possibilities are endless. Now, again, I don't think that's going to create the next blockbuster for you. Humans are what need to create that. It's just good at taking some of that and putting it into the blender, right? Linus Torvalds calls LLMs in 2024, he called them autocorrect on steroids. And I think that's a really good description. Now, let's talk a little bit about LLMs, right? Because they're now even running on laptops. So you've got Windows-powered PCs that are running with Copilot. You've got LLMs that are running on Macs. You can download Llama and install Ollama and run it for very simply. No need for massive server farms or cloud infrastructure. You can now run these powerful models right on your personal computer. Hugging Face's CEO notes, quote, "We're seeing a trend towards more efficient and compact language models that can run on consumer hardware. This democratizes access to AI," end quote. So this means that AI is becoming more accessible and more democratized than ever before. It's like having a supercomputer in your back pocket. The power of AI is literally at your fingertips. So get this, the environmental impact of LLMs is a growing concern, and training these massive models requires a tremendous amount of energy and cost. The latest O3 model, there's a report that just came out yesterday that shows that the latest ChatGPT O3 model takes $1,000 per query worth of electricity. That is insane. So AI ethicists are now warning, quote, "The carbon footprint of training a single large language model can be equivalent to the lifetime emissions of several cars," end quote. So the good news is that researchers are actively working on developing more energy efficient training methods and exploring alternative hardware solutions. It's like making a jumbo jet more fuel efficient, and it's a challenge, but it's essential for the future of our planet. Now, LLMs are becoming harder to use effectively. LLMs are becoming harder and harder to use in some ways, right? As we get more accustomed to what they're used, we push them, and when they give us false output, it makes it harder and harder for us to be able to figure these out. So as these models become more complex and sophisticated, the prompts and techniques required to get the best results are also becoming more intricate. And this is part of the reason why it's really important for us to be able to dive into some of this. Now, OpenAI explained, as language models become more capable, it's paradoxically become harder to elicit their full potential, as doing so requires skills and creativity in prompt engineering. So that's the thing, is we're actually still needing developers to continue to push AI past what we currently use them for. So this means that users need to have a deeper understanding of how these models work and how to effectively interact with them. It's like learning to fly a spaceship. It takes time, practice, and a bit of expertise. Now, here's the silver lining of this, is the open source community is stepping right up, and we're seeing more and more advancements in open source, which is great because open source was kind of dying in a lot of ways. But these LLMs have really brought open source back to life. There's a growing movement to develop open source LLMs that are more transparent, accessible, and customizable. Hugging Face's Thomas Wolfe states, "Open source is playing a crucial role in democratizing access to state-of-the-art language models and fostering collaboration in AI research. This means that we're not just relying on the big tech companies to control the future of AI. It's like the Wild West of AI development. There's a lot of experimentation and innovation happening outside of the confines of big corporations. And this is super important because we don't want them to own everything with AI." So LLMs are still prone to errors, and this is a big problem, right? LLMs still require a lot of really close work and watch because they're very prone to errors and biases. They're trained on massive data sets of text and code, which can contain bias and inaccuracies. Not only that, they're actually trained so that rather than give you something saying, "I don't know anything about this," it actually just makes stuff up because that's what it does. It creates word salads like somebody else we know, right? So AI researcher Kate Crawford cautioned, "We have to be very careful about the biases and blind spots that can be baked into these language models, which can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and misinformation," end quote. This means that we need to be critical of the outputs then they generate and ensure that that they are used responsibly and ethically. It's like teaching a child. They learn from the information they're exposed to, and it's our responsibility to guide them toward the right path. Now, let's talk about a fascinating trend, the rise of prompt engineering as a new skill. As LLMs become more prevalent, the ability to craft effective prompts is becoming a valuable skill. Anthropotics Jack Clark noted, prompt engineering is the new programming. Being able to write prompts that elicit the desired behavior from language models is becoming an essential skill, end quote. It's like learning a new language, the language of AI. If you want to get the most out of these models, you need to know how to speak their languages. Now, the legal and ethical implications of LLMs are still being debated. Who owns the outputs generated by these models? How do we prevent them from being used for malicious purposes? And as the AI is using data and scraping the web, is it doing so responsibly, right? AI ethicist Joanna Bryson argues, quote, "We urgently need robust government frameworks and ethical guidelines to ensure that language models are developed and deployed in a responsible and accountable manner," end quote. Now, I'm not totally sure I agree with this, but it's an interesting perspective and one we should look at. These are important questions that are being raised and we're going to be seeing things to try to address this. It's like figuring out the rules of the road for self-driving cars. We need to establish clear guidelines to ensure safety and fairness. So these are some of the hidden truths about AIs and LLMs that we learned from 2024. And as we've seen, these technologies are progressing at a really fast pace, opening up incredible possibilities, but also raising some important questions and challenges. Now, what are your thoughts? Are you hitting AI exhaustion? There's a lot of people who are reporting this, so I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Best compliment I can give is to give a comment down below. So make sure you like and subscribe. Here at Startup Hack, we're passionate about training the next generation of software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and building custom cutting-edge software solutions for companies. So if you're ready to level up your skills or transform your business with AI, reach out to us today and hit the links down in the description down below. So the future is coming, and it's going to be one heck of a wild ride in 2025. But together we can navigate this brave new world of AI and build a future that works for all of us. So we've got another offer here for those who want to dive into a tech career, and so check this out.
Want to become a software developer but don't want to spend 4 years in college and rack up massive student loan debts? Think you need technical expertise to get started? Welcome to Startup Hack, a better way to start your software career without student loans and years without income. One-on-one tutoring is included so you never get stuck and have guidance through the whole process. No technical experience is necessary. Learn at your own pace and in your own space. Startup Hack has worked with local state agencies in your area to make it so that qualifying students can get the program costs covered entirely and students can start earning while they learn.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I completed the full stack development course offered by Startup Hack. One thing setting Startup Hack apart from any other coding bootcamp was the quality of one-on-one tutoring available. All of the projects that we did were challenging and thought-provoking, but left me feeling very accomplished and very prepared for my first job that I was offered just days after completing the program.
Hello, I'm Tom, and I completed the full stack development course offered by Startup Hack, and I must say that it was an excellent experience. The tutors is what set this course apart from others. They were knowledgeable, experienced, and always available to help provide me with guidance and support. Do not hesitate to take advantage of this affordable and efficient software development course.
Complete our 3-month coding bootcamp, gain hands-on experience, and land a paid internship. With 2 years of experience, on average, our graduates are making over $80,000 per year. The 3-month program includes technologies from Microsoft, Google, and Facebook. No debt, just a quick path to earning. Check out startuphack.com to code your future and